situations like me, my particular experience with Beam Centauri, it was great in the beginning. It's great for us to work for them. It's not so cool when you start to own things. You see what I'm saying? So I made a lot of money with them too. Like, there's a point, they did a deal that mirrored what Puffy's deal with Diageo was for Ciroc. So he didn't have ownership of that at any point, but he was getting a lot of money, like almost like $60 million a year at one point. So you see him go to De Leon is when you see him have some issues. And these people have really strong relationships. Don't think that the civil case doesn't turn into a criminal case faster because he's making them uncomfortable. That's a big part of it. The spirits business it's not governed. They got a discus board that they created, right? If you got two companies that are $3 billion, they have the experience. And Beam Centauri and Diageo, the distribution level, it's very hard for you to get things to a point where you can do the right numbers. They incentivize the sales force by giving them box bonuses. And then when you sell a product, you get the bonuses off the boxes that's there. But you make that no matter what product you're selling. So if you sell Hennessy or Remy out the gate, they start to put downward pressure on the new companies.
Diddy Combs ordered to stay behind bars. His lawyers offered up his Miami home, his mother's home, as well as collateral. Also, he would forfeit his passport, but it wasn't enough to keep him out of jail until trial. Jennifer Bisram inside the courtroom when that judge handed down that decision. Jennifer?
Hi, Christine. This was Sean Diddy Combs' second day in court after those federal charges and after spending a night in a federal lockup. He walked in the courtroom very calm, very confident. His sons were in the courtroom, and at one point he even blew them a kiss and put his hand to his heart. But just about a half hour ago, the judge denied him bail again, saying if released, he could tamper with evidence and contact witnesses. Now, if you may recall, this music mogul has been charged with sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Prosecutors argued he is a flight risk and used the term dangerousness today a lot, saying his violence against women went on for decades and he ran an elaborate sex acts called freak-offs, and he had a team who helped him with everything from setting up rooms to supplies. Now, prosecutors also said freak-off activity is the core of this case. They say the victims and escorts that were presented in this case so far is just the tip of the iceberg. They also argued that if bail was granted, risk of obstruction would be heightened because of Combs' power. And they say just last week he contacted a witness over 50 times. Now, Sean Diddy Combs' attorney argued Combs is trustworthy. He had a drug addiction and anger issues, and that he went to rehab for that. But he said that they also said that he had a foolproof system for bail. A new security service would monitor Combs 24/7 at his Miami home. He would not have access to internet or phone, so he would not be able to contact witnesses, and he submitted his passport. They say also in good faith he put his $45 million Miami mansion up, his home up for collateral, and is in the process of selling his plane. Now, at the end, the judge ruled this bail package was insufficient. Listen to his attorney as the attorney left the courtroom just a short time ago.
It did not go our way. The fight continues. We're not giving up by a long shot. I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. I'm going to try and minimize the amount of time he spends in very, very difficult and, I believe, inhumane housing conditions.
And again, Sean Diddy Combs will now remain in federal custody until his trial date. He denies all charges. Again, you heard from his attorney just a short time ago. Now, if convicted on those felony charges, he faces 15 years to life in prison.
Oh, yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV. UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in as a resurfaced interview started to make his rounds on the internet today with 50 Cent sat down with Earn Your Leisure at the Invest Fest last month, and the conversation came up with Diddy and the liquor brands. Well, y'all heard right there, 50 Cent said the civil suit got sped up into a criminal situation, and this was before the indictment officially happened. This was months after the raid and everything. It was last month, but he said they got sped up. And you got to think and feel like some of that had to do with Diddy's legal battle with these higher up behind the scenes liquor companies that he was going through court with. Now 50 Cent had his legal battles with these liquor companies as well and everything like that. But he said, you got to know these people got connections, they got things, and they controlling situations behind the scenes. And I tell you like this, when it comes to certain topics, multiple things can be correct at one time, and certain pieces of a conversation can be correct and also incorrect. And I had a link in the description where y'all can watch that in full. And I got to find that part from the Earn Your Leisure thing for the Invest Fest that went down. But also CBS, as we seen it hit the news yesterday, that Diddy would be denied bond. And as it stands today, he will be locked up until the trial. His lawyer did put a package together, $50 million. He had ended up paying off his mortgage for his $18 million that was left on his Miami home, handed over his passport way back in April. But there's 3 counts. You hear the conspiracy, the RICO, the prostitution. What they basically is saying, these freak-offs was used in Diddy's favor and manner in a way from corporate side, power, influence, and things of that nature. The overall thing right here, though, is this has been going on this long. Y'all just found out about it now. Why is it all of a sudden becoming a thing? Why did y'all wait this long? Why did y'all let him get away with this long? Did y'all now just figure this out? Me, with the type of things the government got, the type of situations and resources they have, I feel like this can't be something new. I'm not saying it's okay, and I'm also saying innocent until proven guilty for Diddy. I don't want to see nobody go to jail and do time for something that was consented and understood before they got there. I don't want to see nobody's reputation be torn down for something they didn't do on this level either, any level or nothing like that. But I also will look at it. That's why I say we separate things over here. Well, hold on. Y'all just found this out in 2023, 24. All these things y'all saying, y'all just got this information now. This y'all first time hearing about this. Why does the raids come all of a sudden? That's something I always question. That's why I've always said innocent until proven guilty. You go back and peep everything that I've been speaking on with it. Hey, fam, I'm not saying this. I'm not saying that. I wasn't there. But I know that this is coming from I feel like there's somebody higher up that got to be pushing a button behind the scenes, because if he was doing all these type of things this long, y'all just got the resources and y'all just got what y'all needed to come with it. Now, it took a civil suit to wake this up. Now, the civil suit does paint an eye in the court of public opinion and everything like that. But when does the court of public opinion matter? They want to indict somebody, because they'll go lock niggas up for way smaller things than take them recording things of this nature. So we've seen these things happen with different figures in the culture and even outside of our culture, but just in entertainment. We see the thing with the Epstein and the Weinstein, which I can't remember what happened with his. And there's several others as well with these rings. And there's plenty more of these going on. But there's several layers to this conversation. I get what 50 Cent is saying. But at the same time, people going to be like, well, 50 Cent, if you feel that way, why do you go at Diddy so hard? Why do you, why you go at Diddy like this? Why do you make fun about the parties? 50 even did a documentary. 50 can feel how he want to feel about it. He said, hey, I'm just saying, nigga, they might have been new about this. They wasn't really tripping on it or wasn't pressing no line or did jump on the gun and make the process speed up. If he don't go for these lawsuits against these higher up liquor companies and everything like that. That's why I keep saying multiple things at once. As 50 just told some real stuff last month. He didn't know the indictment was coming down this quick probably, but it's like, man, it's in real time happening like that. We shall see. They got evidence. They claim they had videos on Diddy, then him contacting one of the witnesses 50 times last week. All that is, they going to use that as a narrative and use that as evidence that, hey, if we let you out on bond, you going to try to find a way to change people's minds or use your power and your influence to get people to take back their statements and stories and things like that. I don't make the rules. The full indictment is out there. Heavy accusations using your business, your corporation to put sex things together. If you want to be a freak and have sex parties and have your oil everywhere and recorded and things, there's no crime in that. But if you at one time use one word, I'm just telling y'all how it go. Well, they can prove it. They have it documented via text, video, audio, of you making somebody like, hey, you don't have a choice but to do this, and you hiring other sex workers to come do the act to this person or anything, they can call it a RICO and human trafficking and prostitution on a different level when you go across state and it becomes federal. It just is what it is. Tell me what y'all think. We shall see. It's some higher ups behind the scenes at all times, making everything rotate. Tell me what y'all think. More coming. For Shit Show, stay on your pivot.